What if I told you the reason you're struggling financially has nothing to do with how hard you work, but everything to do with how you think? In this video, you'll discover the hidden beliefs that keep people poor, the mindset shifts that make the rich richer, and the exact lessons Robert Kiyosaki revealed that can completely transform your financial future. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll hear could be the difference between staying stuck in the rat race or finally breaking free into financial freedom. Many people dream of becoming rich, but only a few ever make it a reality. According to Robert Kiyosaki, the difference is not always about how hard you work or how much education you have, but about the mindset you carry. In a powerful interview, he explained that wealth and poverty often begin in the mind, long before they appear in your bank account. He compared the way the rich think to how the poor and middle class think, and the differences are eye-opening. One of the first things he pointed out is how the poor often see money as something scarce, something that must be earned through endless hard work and then spent on survival. This constant chase keeps them trapped in a cycle. They trade time for money, and when the money is gone, they go back to trading more time. On the other hand, the rich see money as a tool, not something they work for endlessly. Instead, they ask, how can money work for me? This single shift in perspective is what opens the door to wealth. Kiyosaki stressed that poor and middle-class people are trained from a young age to believe that education is the key to financial success. Go to school, get good grades, find a secure job, and you will be fine. But he argued that this formula may have worked in the industrial age, not in today's fast-changing economy. The rich do not depend solely on formal education. They focus on financial education, something rarely taught in schools. They learn how money moves, how taxes work, how debt can be used as leverage, and how investments grow. In contrast, the poor avoid talking about money or believe it is rude to discuss it. This silence leads to ignorance, and ignorance keeps people struggling. Another key difference Kiyosaki shared is how people react when faced with financial challenges. A poor mindset often says, "I can't afford it." This closes the brain from looking for solutions. The rich mindset instead asks, "How can I afford it?" That small shift turns a dead end into a challenge, and challenges spark creativity. When you train your brain to solve problems instead of shutting down, you open yourself up to opportunities others cannot even see. He made it clear that being rich is less about the dollars in your pocket and more about the way you train your thoughts. Poor people often fear risk, while the rich learn how to manage risk. Poor people see debt as dangerous, while the rich understand there is bad debt that takes money out of your pocket and good debt that puts money into your pocket. For example, a poor mindset might borrow money to buy luxury items that lose value, while a rich mindset might borrow money to invest in a rental property that creates monthly cash flow. This part of the interview revealed that the rich and the poor live in the same world, face the same economy, and often start with similar challenges. The difference is in how they see opportunities. Poor people say, "I need job security." Rich people say, "I need financial freedom." Poor people think about today's bills, while the rich think about long-term assets. Poor people save money only to watch inflation eat it away, while the rich invest money so it grows faster than inflation. This mindset difference shapes every choice, from what they read to who they spend time with. Kiyosaki emphasized that wealth is not measured by income, but by assets that generate cash flow. He explained that most poor and middle-class people spend their lives working for income, usually a paycheck, and the moment that paycheck stops, their lifestyle collapses. The rich, however, spend their energy building or buying assets that pay them even when they sleep. An asset can be real estate, stocks, intellectual property, or a business system. The crucial point is that assets put money into your pocket without requiring you to be physically present every day. This is why he says the rich do not work for money, they make money work for them. The poor mindset focuses on liabilities disguised as assets, like a bigger house or a flashy car, believing those things make them look rich. In reality, these items drain money every month and keep them locked in a rat race. During the interview, he also highlighted how the rich approach learning. Poor and middle-class people often stop learning once they graduate, assuming school gave them all the knowledge they need. The rich see learning as a lifelong process. They read financial books, attend seminars, hire mentors, and surround themselves with people who challenge their thinking. They are not afraid to admit what they don't know, and they actively seek knowledge. In contrast, the poor mindset often clings to the idea that they already know enough or blames external circumstances for their lack of progress. This attitude creates a ceiling that stops growth. Kiyosaki also touched on fear and comfort zones. He said one of the greatest traps keeping people poor is the desire for comfort and safety. Job security, steady paychecks, and avoiding risk may feel safe, but in the long run, they prevent people from building wealth. The rich accept that fear and risk are part of the process. They do not seek to eliminate risk, they learn to manage it. They step out of comfort zones, start businesses, invest in opportunities, and accept failures as part of the learning curve. A poor mindset, however, sees failure as the end and risk as something to run away from. That is why many talented people remain stuck, too afraid to make bold moves. He gave an example using taxes. The poor and middle class often complain about taxes, but never learn how the system works. They earn money, pay taxes, and then live on what remains. The rich, however, use corporations, investments, and legal tax strategies to minimize how much they pay, allowing them to reinvest and grow their wealth faster. This is not because they cheat the system, but because they take time to study it. They understand the rules of the game and use them to their advantage. A poor mindset ignores the rules, complains about unfairness, and continues to lose money without realizing why. Another eye-opening insight was the importance of environment. He explained that the people you surround yourself with shape your financial destiny. Poor and middle-class people often spend time with others who share the same struggles, reinforcing limiting beliefs. Conversations revolve around bills, salaries, and survival. Rich people, on the other hand, build networks with mentors, investors, entrepreneurs, and people who talk about opportunities and solutions. The energy of the people around you can either drag you down or lift you up. This is why he often says your network is your net worth. By this point in the interview, it became clear that the line dividing rich and poor is not physical wealth, but mental patterns. The way you think, what you value, and how you act daily builds your financial future. The poor mindset spends to look rich. The rich mindset invests to become rich. The poor mindset focuses on job titles. The rich mindset focuses on ownership. The poor mindset avoids problems. The rich mindset solves problems and gets paid for it. This mental separation explains why two people with the same salary can end up in very different financial positions over time. Kiyosaki then spoke about the role of discipline and habits in shaping wealth. A poor mindset often wants instant gratification, spending money on new clothes, gadgets, or entertainment the moment income arrives. This creates a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck. The rich mindset understands delayed gratification. They reinvest earnings, build cash-flowing assets, and let compounding do the heavy lifting. Over time, these disciplined choices create financial independence, while those who constantly spend find themselves stuck in debt and stress. He explained that building wealth is not about sudden luck, but about consistent habits that align with a bigger vision. Another powerful difference he pointed out is how each mindset defines security. For the poor and middle class, security means a job, a pension, or some form of guaranteed income. They rely on external systems that may collapse or change with time. The rich define security as control over assets, knowledge, and decisions. They are not at the mercy of a boss or government. This sense of control comes from taking responsibility. A poor mindset often blames the government, the economy, or luck for financial struggles. The rich mindset takes responsibility, asking, "What can I do to improve my situation?" That ownership mindset is what leads to solutions. Kiyosaki also underlined the importance of purpose. Money alone is not enough to keep someone driven. Rich people often build wealth around a bigger mission, whether it's solving problems, creating value, or leaving a legacy. That purpose keeps them moving forward even when challenges arise. Poor people, on the other hand, often work only for survival or temporary pleasure. Without a bigger vision, their motivation fades quickly. He insisted that true wealth is not just financial freedom, but freedom of time and purpose. A striking part of the interview was his reflection on how people teach their children. Poor parents often say we can't afford it or money doesn't grow on trees. They unconsciously pass down a fear-based relationship with money. Rich parents, however, use challenges as teaching moments. Instead of saying we can't, they ask their children, how can we make it possible? They encourage financial curiosity, creativity, and resilience. Over generations, these lessons compound. Poverty and wealth are both taught at home, not just experienced in the bank account. He also warned about the illusion of being busy. Many poor and middle-class people equate long working hours with progress, yet they are often just running faster on the same hamster wheel. The rich focus less on being busy and more on being productive. They ask, does this activity create income even when I stop working? If not, it may not be worth all the time. They prioritize systems, automation, and investments over endless labor. In his words, the poor work hard for money, while the rich build money machines that work hard for them. In closing, Kiyosaki stressed that anyone can shift from a poor mindset to a rich mindset, but it begins with awareness and a willingness to change. It is not about luck, inheritance, or extraordinary intelligence. It is about learning how money works, surrounding yourself with the right people, taking responsibility, and replacing fear with action. He repeated that financial freedom is a choice, not a privilege. The difference lies in whether you are willing to think differently, act differently, and persist even when it feels uncomfortable. Those who embrace this shift may not see results overnight, but over time, the compounding effect of smart choices builds true wealth. This interview served as a wake-up call that poverty and wealth are both states of mind. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your reality. If you want to change your financial future, the first step is to change the way you think. Rich versus poor is not just about money, it is about mindset, discipline, and vision.